So I'm going to get right into it. This is a study on Charles Schwab platform. This is Thinkorswim. This is the ATR Trailing Stop study. It's a very good study, but what I did is went in and tweaked a few things. So it gave me buy and sell signals. It gives me buy and sell signals of profit. It gives you a sell signal when it breaks the long trailing stop line. And it also gives you a buy signal when it breaks the trailing short line, which is the purple line and blue line. What the study does too is it actually gives you buys on extended hours as well as intraday. I can go in here to the edit studies, click on the wheel cog itself of the study. I'm on full hours right now. Let's just go intraday. Hit OK, apply, OK. Now there are no more buy or sells on the extended, it's only intraday, as you can see. So let's put it back on. You got extended hours only. If you want to go extended only, there are no more trades on intraday, only extended, as you can see, buy and sells. Let's go back in and turn them all on. Extended hours full is for both intra and extended hours. This is the normal what you would see if you just got the ATR Trailing Stop, but I've added a few features in here, which gives me the intraday extended hours of both. I can also set a take profit. I can also set it to buy or show only buy signals above VWAP or only above the SMA. And I can set the period length, and I can set my take profit percent. So as you can see here, it gives you a buy signal once it broke, price action broke above the purple or magenta lines. It gives you the buy here. Now my percent was set and it didn't quite break and hit above it because this is where it's at up here, that green dot. So it didn't quite get there, but it gave me a sell signal because it broke back below the trailing stop. So that little dot right here, this dot right here is actually your percent, your take percent. So it was saying buy once price action broke above the short trailing stop, which are the purple lines, broke above. So what that does is as soon as it starts to go and break above it, it automatically prints this, and if price action goes back below the short line of the purple dots, it'll actually, this dot will disappear. But it didn't. Price action went above, broke above, stayed above it, gave you your buy signal, and it went above that little green dot, which is 10%. So if it hit that dot right there, 10%. You could have made 10%, got out. But what it does, it gave me the sell at the next candle. After this candle, price action broke above it and it stayed above it. Now if you watch this dot here, we can go into the edit studies, hit the wheel again, and we can change this to, let's go 30%. Hit OK, apply, OK. See the dot was in a circle, now it's in 30%. So what that would have done was, as long as the trade wouldn't have broke back below the trailing stop, which are these blue dots for the buy, for the long, as long as it wouldn't have broke back below it, it would have gave you 30%. It would have sold you at 30%. So you could have went here and then look at price action. As soon as it goes up and touches that, that's 30%. You could have sold there. And that's exactly what this did here. Price action broke above this, went up and closed still above it, and it gave you your sell signal. Now, this is mainly meant for longs. You can use it for short. You can use this for as soon as it breaks and get and print you out a sell. You can use this to go short if you're a short seller. Let's go back off the 30 and just put 10 in. Now on the cog itself, if you go back into here, there are some other things, features down here. You get your buy, your sell, and both sells. So let's change this sell to, let's say we go to We'll make it this little light purple here. Hit OK, OK, OK. So what this cell is now, you can change it whatever color you want, is from that buy. So now it's that percent take actually. Not sure why it's given that one there, but this percent take, these ones here, go back to the 10 there, 10 here, it sells. So that's your sell signal. Maybe this one's letting you be a little bit more greedy. Hey, nothing wrong with that. These red cells are when it breaks below the trailing stop. So this would be good for a short. So technically speaking, if you like to short the market, you could have got in right here when I gave you that sell. I wrote it down to this buy and got you 10%. Or if you even went up to here, it's 5%. This one right here was a buy, gave you another sell right there. You could have wrote it down. I am not a short, I don't short stocks, but I'm just showing you the power of this, how this could work. Once this breaks down below, which it did here, and closed, it went down to there, got you 7%. So let me show you some other features. I believe this to be a very, very powerful study. And there's so many options you can do. So let's say that you only want to trade above VWAP. I have it on no. Let's put a yes. So you're going to watch some of these buy sells disappear, because anything that drops below VWAP, like right here, you had some buy and sells. See how it broke below these short trailing stop dots? It broke back above it, gave you your longs, but there are no trades there. So anytime that anything, see over here too, and this is the extended hours, there's nothing, because it is below VWAP. So if you only want to trade above VWAP, that is a feature that I put in here, which I love trading above VWAP. So if you turn that back off, say no, now let's put on the SMA. Some people like 50, 100, 200. All you gotta do is turn it on and say trades will only be taken, and it automatically prints that 20 SMA line for you. And trades will only be taken when it is, or price action breaks. When price action breaks above it, and it also breaks the magenta lines, which are your ATR trailing stop lines. It has to break above it, and it has to be above the 20 SMA, or it will not take a trade. So he's telling you to sell here because because it broke it. But usually it's a good indicator too, it can ride along and kind of tell you, it gives you another confirmation if it's breaking and it still is heading up. But let's say that it breaks down a little bit, but it's still going up and you're not sure. Like let's say that this dips but then starts to come back up. You can also use the 20 EMA or 50. You can change this to 50, whatever you want. You can see here that it did not take a trade. Once it broke above it and printed out these blue lines, there was no trade made. And that is because even though the trade above VWAP was still off, so it should have taken a trade if this SMA was not on, but it didn't take a trade for you. So I mean, you can play with these. You can also move, shut this off. You can also move the length, the ATR lengths, which you can see here. And we can put a line on this to show you. And then if we go in and change this to Now 1.7 is just the default. That's kind of what I find it works best for me. You can change it to whatever you want. Let's change this to 2.5. Go back in, hit OK, apply. See, now your trailing stop moved from where it was. So now it gives you a different trailing stop. And then if you go in, and I believe that, let's see if this line moves here. And I believe that that would be the 10. Let's make that 7. Yep, see, it moved it. But it also moved the bottom lines too. It moved them actually closer, so it wouldn't take. So you can mess with this to get it to adjust your buy and sell signals. That's why I believe that the power of this ATR trailing stop is it's phenomenal. And I think that if used right, that you could be very profitable with this. I definitely have this running when I do my trading. So that's pretty much the study itself. I also want to get in and show I thought I had this set up, so let me pull up one of these. Alright, so I also have a buy and a percent break of what percent it broke above. That means that the dot that prints out is above the ATR trailing stop of 240%. We can see if this one is working correctly. This is on the daily too, so it gives you just the daily. So that's at 240%. Roughly, but this dot isn't exactly right because it keeps printing below it. But anyway, it's pretty close to about the 200. Let's see if I can zoom in on it, maybe it'll help. Yeah, because see, this keeps going below it. Anyway, roughly it's about 240%. We can look at another one. This one is 227 FMSD. Once again, it's roughly a little bit lower, but it's once it breaks that, once it breaks here, I'm having a hard time with that dot hitting where it should be. But it's just my computer. I need to dial it in. But anyway, 229, it's almost 227%. So that's just telling you what it is once it broke above this trailing stop. It's telling you the distance, how much it's went up above the ATR originally. Not from this trailing stop, but when it broke it originally. You also have some that have buy signals on them. This works better when the market's open, as if it doesn't really work very good when the market's not open. But it gives you a buy. If this buy prints on the daily, it'll tell you. It'll give you a buy signal. Or if it prints on the minute. So the last signal was a buy. And it's telling you it's in a buy signal. Now price did break below, but once again, this is not, it's trading 500 in volume. So it's really not a very good indication of what it's able to do when it's running in the market. See, there's a good one right there. This is the minute. It was a buy. Over here on the scan itself, it gave you a buy. So it'll either give you a buy in the minute if it is printing a buy, or the daily. So if you go back to the chart and we hit the daily on that, and we see it really did in the buys way down here. You can also get into the scan itself. Like if you want to go into and adjust this yourself, you just go to customize, go to ATR buy column, and then you can go in here and you can trade, or you can make the offset so it matches what you find your defaults to be the best on the study itself. And you can do the same with the TC ATR break percent. All you do is click on that little wheel. Oops, already open. Click on there, and then you can adjust it however you want, however it seems fit to you. So in this package, you will get the study. So you're going to get this study, which is my ATR study, which is this study right here. You're also going to get these two custom columns, so that way it'll give you an idea of where it's breaking above and if it's climbing above it. These are updating too. These self-update, so it should give you live information. Like I said, the market's not open, it's on a holiday that I'm recording this. But when the market's open, these update live. So you might have something that jumps into your scan and then drops out and jumps back in. We'll be doing a video about this custom VWAP, which this is live updating, and this gives you any time that these go above VWAP. If it's close to VWAP, you get the white numbers. If as the further the price goes above VWAP, it gets yellow to magenta. Magenta is the highest it goes. But the lower it gets, once it goes below VWAP, it just stays red. So it gives you an idea too, the price actually going back to VWAP. But anyway, I'll have this will be up for sale too, because I have a whole VWAP retest study that works pretty well too. So like I said, you get this ATR on both of these custom columns, and you're also going to get this ATR scan. But like I said, it won't do it right now because it may or may not, but the market isn't open, so may run into some issues. And what this scan is primarily plotted out. It's the stock market is 10 cents to $25. Oh, it did. There we go. You can get interchanges, so it's shares, 100,000 to max. The volume is 250,000 to max. And then this is the scan itself and how it's plotted out. And once again, you can go into this. You can set your ATR periods to match exactly what you have set on your ATR study. So you can put them in here, plug them in. It's pretty simple. You just highlight that, back it out, plug in 10 and then 1.7, and then when you hit the scan, it will primarily look up everything that it'll scan for, all the things that are set for your study, and then it'll pop it up in here. So they'll really be matching. So this, once again, is pretty powerful. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions, just email me, and I'm going to be coming out with a lot more studies, some exciting ones. I can't wait. Thanks. Have a blessed holiday.